Today's meeting of Metro Dagupan Toastmasters Club will come to order. Fellow Toastmasters, we will pray and afterwards recite our club's motto. Father in heaven, we praise you for giving us your Son to be our Savior and Lord. Bless us all as we gather here tonight and let us live happily in your love. Hear our prayer, loving Father, for we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Let us all recite our club's motto.
For better listening, for better thinking, and for better speaking, we learn by doing.
Okay.
Our presiding officer tonight is one of the most gentle, friendly Toastmasters. She is known for bringing food, and food to our meeting. Please help me welcome our president, competent communicator, Kathy Cruz Gonzalez.
You know what? I'm glad that we're all here like this, with this kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Hindi yung formal hello meeting. No, we're right now here seated, casually, enjoying ourselves, talking what we want to hear. And I like that. I like that. So you won't get scared if you're going to speak here. The reason why you're scared is you don't know the crowd. So you're scared to speak. But then with this kind of atmosphere, anything goes. And that's what. And could I call now our first time Toastmaster? And I think he's too good at it. Toastmaster DJ.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I am truly honored to be your Toastmaster this evening. I hope you are holding on to your seats because tonight we have a meeting that is both fun and exciting. For the explanation of the different parts of the meeting, the first part is for a table topics portion. This is where members are chosen at random by the table topics master to give roughly 1 minute response to a question posted. They won't know what the question is in advance, so this gives us the practice to think on our feet. Don't worry, we can do this. Alright? Let's go. The second part of the meeting is for the prepared speeches. This is for those speakers who have prepared in advance to meet certain objectives, depending on the Toastmasters manual that they may be working from. Tonight, we have 5 speakers. The third part of the meeting is perhaps the most important part, which is devoted to evaluation. This is where those who participated up to this point will be given immediate feedback by our peers, and ultimately this helps us become better speakers. Before we begin, we need to make a few changes to the agenda. The timer now will be TM Joel. Evaluating me will be Ma'am Ann. Evaluating Jeneline will be Sir Sam. And evaluating TM Joel will be Jeneline. Alright, let's begin. Our table topics master for tonight is a new member of this club, the son of one of the seasoned member of this club. Look who's talking. Tonight, as the table topics master, he's going to make us do the talking. Please help me welcome TM Rice Palaganas.
Thank you. I will call someone, any one of you, who may answer my question or interpret quotations. Your chance of being called is higher if you're not listening to me or avoiding eye contact.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
Walang tawag kayo lahat kasi...
Ay, konta pa rin, maduduriyo yan.
If you are called, please answer the question within 2.5 minutes. Drinking a straw, TM Sam, please Sam.
Sam, you better
Dad! No, Dad.
He has all the leverage. I'm so sorry, Father. I'm so sorry.
This is being recorded.
Exactly.
YouTube. We don't want the whole world to see that you're not cooperative.
That you did not answer the question of yourself.
Oh my God.
That's what you were afraid of before. Now it's in front of you. Tomorrow he will evaluate you.
Toastmasters Sam.
They will damage na. May tatanungin ka na niya. Lapit ka na.
Hey,
I am the evaluator. No, you cannot call me because I am the evaluator.
I will evaluate you.
No. You call someone else because I am the evaluator. I am the table topics evaluator. I forgot.
You really have to pay attention, Father.
Therefore, I will call the gentleman beside him.
JJ.
Suki ng
oh my God.
And then you evaluate.
Suki ng table topics.
Albert Einstein said that a true genius admits that he or she knows nothing. Can you accept this quote or kindly expound it further?
That's right. Repeat.
Albert Einstein said, a true genius admits that he or she knows nothing. Can you accept this quote by Albert Einstein and expound it further?
Right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
I'm DJ. I think Einstein wants to show or tell us that all of us should humble ourselves, because all the knowledges we have are based from the other people, from history. It was just improved throughout the passing of time. And I think he wants us to be respectful in connection with being humble. Because with respect, we are recognizing our existence with others in this planet. And if you respect somebody, in turn you will gain respect. So humility is a very important part of being human, because in that way we are humbled so that we could understand everyone or the people around us. If we'll start to brag about something that we have done, then what else might happen to us? Other people will not respect us. So I think that's what Albert Einstein wants to convey as a message for us, to be humble and to be respectful. Toastmasters.
Thank you.
You take hands. Take hands.
Ay, hands ko na.
First time.
Wala ako dun ah.
Mahirap.
Hirap mo guys.
Mahirap yung
The next Toastmaster I'm going to call is the Toastmaster doing the timer.
I will time you. I will time you.
I will do that.
Toastmaster.
Hey, go get take out.
I will go there.
Yeah. Go there and then shake hands.
Sige na kasi.
This looks fun.
You can, if you want, you can
You
go.
can stay here,
You can
sir.
stay. No,
Dito na lang ako mamaya. Or some.
Thank you so much.
These are the different questions. This question is a man-to-man question. I need you to answer in man-to-manly and in a manly way. Here's your question. Humility is considered an unmasculine quality. Do you agree? I repeat the question. Humility is considered an unmasculine quality. Do you agree?
Shake.
Toastmaster, good evening.
Good evening.
Humility
Is an
is an
unmasculine.
masculine. If I will agree or not.
Yeah.
It is depend on the question of how any person will do that if the humility is unmasculine or a masculine. To me, it's not an unmasculine because everybody has a own way to say humble, to do humble things. That is why, for me, that is not an unmasculine. Thank you so much, Toastmasters.
Time?
Time. High time.
Our next Toastmaster in default is the lady who studies from the University of the Philippines.
Kami lang yan eh. Kami lang talaga.
Thank you. The question: can you cite an example or an instance where pride makes us artificial and humility makes us real? Can you cite an example or experience where pride makes us artificial and humility makes us real?
Okay, so the way I the way I understood the line, pride makes us artificial, so it makes us fake, right? And humility makes us
Real.
Real. Okay, so let me give an example. So right now we are having a very, very big issue in the political. We have a very big political issue due to the upcoming presidential election. So most of the people are now arguing whether Binay is really a corrupt or not. And most of the facts that we're having, it is very, very clear that he did some corruption in the community. So now, his pride is making him artificial because he's not admitting what he really is. However, for the humility, which makes a person real, is when people try to help people randomly without acknowledging it. So now social media is very, very popular, and we see people posting their videos helping people. And I think that is not humility at all. Because if you are really humble, you will not let anyone know what you really did. But just keep it to yourself, because just leaving you, it is already very good. That would be all. Thank you.
That ends our segment for table topics. It was an honor doing the first blood of a certain segment. I turn back the lectern to Toastmasters. Yeah.
Thank you, Team Rice. I knew you would keep us on our toes.
Questions are really good.
TM Joel, can I get the timer's report, please?
I will hand it over
Sabihin mo sir kung ilang tayo na kuha kung...
Did all, you say
Did all qualify?
All the speakers.
All
Yes,
the speakers qualify?
all the speakers are qualified for the time of 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
Team DJ has a 1 minute and 47.93 seconds, while yours has only 51 seconds. Team Jenny has 56 seconds. All of us are qualified for the 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Let's vote for vote.
Thank you for that report. Joel,
Thank you,
Toastmaster, please vote
Toastmaster DJ.
Vote, sir.
for the one you thought who gave the best response and give it to TM Joel to count your votes.
Ay, enjoy pala bukang.
Now, this begins our second part of the meeting, designed for preparing speeches. Tonight, we have 5 speakers. Each of the speeches have been prepared in advance and will have a time limit depending on the Toastmasters manual they may be working from. Our first speaker for tonight will be delivering his icebreaker speech, which is the project number 1 of the Competent Communicator Manual. The objective of this project is to begin speaking before an audience and to discover speaking skills that you already have and skills that need some attention. This will be timed for 4 to 6 minutes. The title of this speech is Memo and Spark Plug. Evaluating him is TM Jen, the account officer under Autoloms of PS Bank Dagupan.
Yeah.
Our new member, help me welcome in front, TM Joel. This is fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster DJ, for the warm welcome. Even though I was shaking right now. Okay, Toastmasters.
Mag-signal ka sir kung buka na pa rin.
Sir, kung mag-do the timer. Sir, wait.
Hello, Toastmasters.
Hello, good evening.
Buenas noches.
Noches.
Senyor.
I am Joel de Guzman,
Nice meeting you.
born on the 21st day of August 1970, and a martial law kid just like Team Prime said in the last meeting. I am married to Eloida de Guzman, my wife. I have 2 kids, and a boy and a girl, ranging from 16 years old and 11 years old respectively. Presently, I am the account officer of PS Bank, Dagupan branch, under Auto Loans Division. I just brought here my Service Award that was given to me last 2011. It symbolizes my service and loyalty of the bank. Team DJ check this, and after that, you can pass it to our Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Okay? Toastmasters? My life as a kid has a lot of hardship. I was the one who acted to be the provider, the breadwinner of the family when we are abandoned by our father. That is why Toastmasters, I was already 21 years old when I entered the college. I was working in the morning and studying at the evening. Luckily, when I was 26 year old, I graduated Bachelor of Science in Accountancy in Angeles City, Pampanga. And fortunately, I was hired by PS Bank in May 1996. Past years by, my job, I was assigned in PS Bank Ordaneta City as an accounting clerk, posting clerk, and clearing clerk rolled into one. But due to technology that was initiated by the bank, all accounting was centralized in head office. So in the year 2007, I was in PS Bank Makati head office for almost a year. Luckily, I was transferred in operation department to become their roving new accounts and teller. And that's where I met Toastmaster Virgil Garcia. I was assigned in PS Bank Olongapo, where Toastmaster Virgil Garcia was the branch head. Toastmaster Virgil Garcia welcomed me warmly in his branch with 2 consecutive memos that I incurred overages. Toastmaster Virgil has a lot of dirty tricks in his bag. I replied the memo and transpired what's going on in the transaction. That is why my title tonight is a memo and spark plug. It's because of that memo, it was a spark that ignited me to read more advisory in the bank, policies in the bank, to have knowledge, to gain knowledge, and all of a sudden, voila! Just like the TM DJ said last meeting, voila! I was now the account officer of PS Bank, Dagupan. When I replied that memo to TM Virgil, at the back of my mind, I wanted to choke the guy because of what he's done. But later on, I realized he's good. He's just pushing me what I'm capable of. That's why I'm very grateful to Toastmaster Virgil Garcia for persuading, persistent, pushing me to how I am become right now. 4 to 6 minutes is not enough, since I already seen the yellow lights. To sum it up, I am a Leo, zodiac sign, passionate. I love also to play basketball, just like Team Prime.
Playboy.
No, I'm not a playboy. I'm a good provider for my family, trying to be the best husband to my wife, and a good father to my kids.
Of course.
Also, I brought here, and the last time I brought my whistle was, formerly I was a licensed referee back in 1991 and 1995.
Happy, Jerry.
This is one of my part job, sideline, when I was in 1995. Yes. Toastmaster, Buenas noches. Gracias.
Gracias, señor.
Ayos. Thank you to Toastmaster DJ.
Next one si Virgin. Ama, bida ka dito. Tawag din namin, bakit?
Thank you, TM Joel, for such a speech.
Sakalin ka mo.
Indeed, you were ignited with that speech and you broke the ice. Our second speaker for tonight will be delivering the same speech project as TM Joel did. This will be timed for 4 to 6 minutes. The title of his speech is The Nomad. Evaluating him is TM Ann. A promising young man, son of one of the seasoned members of this club. Help me welcome TM Rice, Palaganas.
Naka-battery ka ba sa ano?
Start.
Dito mo na. Store mo.
Start.
Nak-on pa, di ba?
Fellow Toastmasters, guests. Good evening.
Good evening.
Why the Nomad, you may ask? This is a story of a guy who doesn't have a permanent home address until now, who traveled constantly to find opportunity. Once upon a time, in a far distant place, no, literally, a far distant place of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, a bouncing baby boy was born on the 14th of July, 1996.
14 na February 14. Valentine.
July.
July.
Weighing at a massive 9 pounds. I wonder what my mother was eating then
That's for you.
that I became a heavyweight at birth. So I asked my mother. The answer is simple. Burger King. Always Burger King. She always said Burger King. My father, now slurping pasta, Toastmaster Samuel Palaganas, literally bathed me, gave me everything that I wanted on a daily basis. No questions asked. The same treatments given by my mother. Well, not materialistic, but always food, food, and a lot of food. Mommy, I want cheese curds. Mommy, I want food. Can you give me some food? Of course, I can give you some food. So when I started my schooling at the Three Diamonds International School, well, the name of the school is quite misleading. First, there are no foreigners. Second, the teacher, and the only teacher in that school is a Filipina, a friend of my father. 2 years later, it's time for an upgrade. Why not go to an international school? So which I did. I was transferred to the Saudi Arabia Multinational School. From being with many Filipinos to the only Filipino in that class, it's quite a culture shock. I wanted to mingle along with them, with foreigners, but due to terrorism and the work schedule of my father being terminated, we decided to transfer here to the Philippines. So we resided in the place where it's cool, strawberries and vegetables are in abundance, and it's called the City of Pines. It is? Right. Exactly! Baguio City. St. Louis University Laboratory Elementary School, where I repeated kindergarten not only once, but twice. You may wonder why. It is not because I am dumb, but because I have met the minimum age requirement for first grade. And I repeat the same quotation, although I want to stay, although I want to mingle with these people, my family decided, but we must get closer here to Pangasinan where our business is. So what we did. Next is at Mother Goose and later on at Edna's School where I graduated with honors top 9 of the class. It is also in that period where I experienced the happiest thing in my life up to date. It is passing the Philippine Science High School. It is in this school where I publish papers that are currently stored in the Meralco Science Journal. It is also in this school where my interest of public speaking began. I joined oration contest, public speaking contest for the first time, and it is also where I won back to back divisional, regional, and national public speaking and oration contests.
Nakilala mo pala yung papasok ko sana.
After my stay in Pisay, I entered the University of the Philippines Diliman College of Clark, taking up Bachelor of Science in Business Management. I am also the current auditor of the Samahan Mag-aaral na Nagkakaisa. Now knowing my education, now knowing where I grew up, where or what are my future plans? Well, I intend to follow the educational track of my father, taking up a master's in management. Oh wait, I think I have done that before. Right, Toastmaster? It is here. Well, actually, it's not actually a master's, but it's a mistaken identity of a UP graduate. This was taken way back in 2009, where my dad graduated from UP Baguio. The photographer mistaken me as the one who graduated rather than my father.
Sa kinunod niya ako.
You're in big trouble.
They thought I was the professor.
I tell you, Sam, you're really in deep.
To sum it up, the bouncing baby boy, the big king in front of you, is very pleased to speak in front of you, to get to know me, and to further educate myself in this club. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Rice, for such a wonderful speech. Indeed, TM Sam haven't known you better until tonight. Our third speaker for tonight will be delivering her speech project number 2 of the Competent Communicator's Manual, which is Organize Your Speech. The objectives of this project is to select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, and create a strong opening and conclusion. This will be timed for 5 to 7 minutes. The title of her speech is Problems. Evaluating her is TM
Ako.
Sam Palaganas.
Gusto mong iyalo?
Si
Ano yun? Ah? Bigay ka na? Sige, okay.
The title.
Isot ka na naman dito.
Thank you for that. A young self-made entrepreneur and a musician. Help me welcome, in front, TM Jeneline Quinto.
My fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm quite interested about your answers. So before I start my speech, I'd like to ask a few of you what is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the word problem? Sir Sam, since you're looking at me, what is it?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Maybe you have read my speech already.
Perhaps we have the same thing.
Miss Kathy. Problem.
Solution?
Solution. Sir.
Normal. Kasi you don't have problems.
Normal.
Normal.
How about you, Sir DJ?
A way to start a new beginning.
Wow, Toastmasters. And Miss Anne?
Something's in store for me.
Something's in store for you. Well, I don't think my speech is important. I was expecting most of you to answer it in a negative way, like connecting problem with negativity. Because if you define problem, a problem is something that we don't want to happen because it's harmful and we might be put in danger because of problems and we need to solve them. So similar words are difficulties, trouble, worries, and complications. So none of you mentioned negative words, so yeah, you still have to listen to my speech anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So problems come in different forms. We have family problems, financial problems, business problems, even math problems, right? We have math problems.
Personal problems.
And personal problems, relationship problems. And these usually happens because of arguments, misunderstanding, irresponsibilities, and carelessness. So, you see, everywhere we have a problem. Alright, most of us would hear lines such, ang hirap mabuhay. Ayoko nang pumasok sa trabaho kasi yung boss ko pangit ang ugali. Or the most popular one, ayoko nang mabuhay kasi iniwan ako ng girlfriend ko. Ayoko nang mabuhay kasi iniwan ako ng boyfriend ko. These lines we hear, and upon hearing them, we would instantly know that that person saying that has a problem. And who among us would want to have a problem? Raise your hand.
Pardon?
Who among us would want to have a problem?
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wants, not even me. But why? Why don't we want to be in such a situation of having problems? Because it's stressful. It is so stressful that some people deny it, some people cry over it, and some people even run away from it.
They kill, they kill.
Yes. In some countries like Japan, they kill themselves for having such problems. So you see, problems are everywhere. And they're really disturbing, very, very disturbing that some people I heard lose the appetite and some people even have sleepless night thinking over their problems. So this is very, very bad.
Yeah.
Most of us react negatively to problems, especially if we take them by surprise. Just imagine Sir Joel driving, and he's even listening to his favorite song while driving, going on his way to work. And then suddenly, he gets a flat tire. That is a very unexpected moment.
But
Well, we wish it's a very, very unexpected problem. And he might be thinking that his entire day is being ruined because he will be late for work, he has to think about his tire, he has to fix it, pay for it, solve a problem. And another thing, we can have simple examples, just like, for example, being scolded at work, or even being late, and of course having no internet. Raise your hand if you think having no internet is a problem. Yes, that's a problem. So you see, problems, big or small, they're everywhere. They're part of our lives and they're very inevitable. So we cannot keep on running. We cannot keep on running away from problems, from these problems. Because problems are given. They're all around us. Just imagine the day when you realize that you are not a good English communicator. Just like what I realized long time ago. What did we all do? We joined Toastmasters Club International. And we joined the club because we want self-development. That is what we are missing. The bad thing about us is that we are looking at problems as problems. We're missing the part to see problems as opportunities. But I guess all of you did today.
It makes us go.
Yes, to make us go further. So, as I was saying, we all joined Toastmasters Club International for self-development because that is an opportunity. And look at us now. Look at all of us. We are all in the process of being molded to become the best listeners and best speakers in the community. And it's really, really fun. Don't you think?
Yeah,
It is fun. So if we just accept problem as a normal happening in our lives, maybe someday we would gracefully embrace problems for us to develop ourselves. Running away is just making yourself further from the solution. So we have to think that problems are opportunities that would make you and me a better and stronger person to face the future. So we must never give up on life. That would be all.
Yeah. Thank you, TM Jen, for that speech. But I think finances isn't one of your problems, right? Because you're an entrepreneur.
I have that in my speech.
Our next speaker for tonight will be delivering his speech project number 7 of the CC manual, which is research your topic. The objectives of this project is to collect information about your topic from numerous sources and carefully support your points and opinions with specific facts, example, and illustration gathered through research. This will be timed for 5 to 7 minutes. The title of his speech is Recuperate. Evaluating him is TM Choir, named after the Marvel superhero The Flash by Ma'am Ann. I just hope he could live by the name. Help me welcome the Toastmaster of the night, TM DJ. That's it. We spend almost 1/3 of our lives on our pillow. That is 24 years in a lifetime. The Japanese called it the soul bowl because they believe that our souls reside in it. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, good evening. I don't intend to talk about the fluffy cushion for the head in bed. My intentions are to speak of the process we undergo while in it. Does any one of you here know what it is? Come on. Somebody should know this.
Sleeping.
You're right, Jen. Sleeping. And because of that, you will not pay any fines from us, and other filler words that you will incur from this moment until the end of the meeting. Will that be acceptable, Madam President?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
I'm just kidding.
I have no choice.
I'm just kidding. I can't impose things like that.
But then I'm the accountant, so.
I can impose things like that.
Okay.
Right, Ma'am? Ma'am?
By all means. By all means.
Let's all be generous.
So, it is ironic though that I will be tackling about this matter, yet I too myself stayed up late all night trolling the internet when researching about this topic. Whew. What a relief. Ah, my yeah, the sleepless nights for this topic. Let's move on. The word sleep is Germanic in origin, which is derived from the Gothic word sleps and the modern German word schlaf and the Dutch word sleep. Everybody say schlaf. Good. If you feel tired, groggy, irritable, or lazy, chances are you didn't have enough sleep last night or the past few nights. As I have mentioned a while ago, we spend almost 24 years sleeping, so it should be important, right? Prominent and successful people are having a hard time sleeping because of their hectic schedules, and their minds are exploding with ingenious ideas. Have you felt that too?
Yes.
Thoughts keep running up your head, and you can do anything to put it off. In that case, you will experience a cumulative effect which is called sleep debt that will accumulate over time. You might have bills and loans to pay, and yet because of lack of sleep, you will incur another form of debt, sleep. On the bright side, you can pay it with sleep itself or naps within the span of 24 hours. Winston Churchill, for instance, his afternoon nap is a non-negotiable part of his life. Napoleon Bonaparte can sleep or nap like a baby before a battle or even when cannons are blasting nearby. And Thomas Edison, he was known for working 72 hours without sleeping. And yet, when Henry Ford visited him in his lab, the Edison's assistant stopped him from going in because Edison was snoozing. Ford said, "But I thought Edison didn't sleep very much." To which the assistant answered, "He doesn't sleep very much at all, but he naps a lot." Continuous deprivation of a good sleep hampers cognitive function. Worst, it will increase heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and far more than worse, death. In 2012, a healthy Chinese man, 26 years old, attempted to watch every soccer game in the European Championship, going 11 days without sleeping, which unfortunately cost his life. So how many hours do we need then? Studies show 7 to 8 hours is adequate for adults like us. And a good sleep has two distinct processes at play. The first one is slow wave or deep sleep, which is critical for the renewal and the repair of the body, thus helping you recover physically. And the second one is REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. It is when our brain dreams and organizes information throughout the day, thus helping us recover mentally. But this ability decreases with age. Harvard Medical School stated that the average 80-year-old gets 62% less slow wave or deep sleep than the average 20-year-old, making the aging process faster. In other words, it is reasonable enough to say that getting a good sleep is one of our best defenses against aging quickly. I have listed ways to get better at this. No coffee in the afternoon, specifically after 3 p.m. Can you do that?
I think
Having coffee now.
I might not be.
Stop smoking or minimize smoking. Use the bedroom for sleeping and sex only. Exercise for easier power than at night. Make your room quieter and cooler between 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. Put off all devices. And use relaxing techniques like meditation, journaling, and the list goes on.
That's it. I saw you.
Now, I'm not saying to meet your deadlines or be late at work just for the sake of sleeping. Of course not. What I'm emphasizing is, if you have dreams and aspirations to be with your loved ones much longer or be successful in anything you do, take care of yourself first. Your health is your wealth. What good it is for someone to have everything but could not enjoy the feeling of sharing because somehow you are bedridden, crippled by some sort of illness. Our productivity-obsessed culture vastly devalues the benefits of having a good night's sleep. We should ignore that culture and get more rest. It is a simple solution to a lot of interconnected problems. The question is it worth trying? It's your call.
Wow.
Okay. We're gonna shake hands. We're gonna shake hands with myself. Sa Toastmasters of the night. Alright, thank you for myself for such a frightening speech.
Maaari ba ako magdiretso rito?
Our last speaker for tonight will be delivering her Advanced Communicator Bruin speech number 10, which is Speak to Inform. The objectives of this project is to select new and useful information for presentation to the audience, organize the information for easy understandability and retention, and present the information in a way that will help motivate the audience to learn. This will be timed for 5 to 7 minutes. The title of her speech is Faith. Evaluating her will be CTM Sam, the wind beneath the wings of this club, our Vice President for Education. Advanced Communicator Bruins after this speech. Help me welcome in front CC, CL, ALB, and Gua.
Way too long, but thank you so much, DJ. Rice is helping me with some technical stuff, and please hold the timer for a moment. I would like to say thank you for that wonderful introduction. I don't need all those. I just want to be here for us to be, all of us, to learn, to share what we have. May you please permit me to... Okay. Did we bring our December issue of the Toastmaster magazine? That's Kathy, Sam, and Melchor.
I realized I did not receive that issue.
You did not? We should email you. Anything you don't receive from Toastmasters International, let your officers know. We will email you. Choir received these manuals. Kathy found her manuals. I hope Beep has found it. For our new members, Joel, Jeneline, DJ, and Rice, we will be receiving that. That's it, Kathy. Thank you. You guys will be receiving the CC manuals and your CL manuals probably mid-June, because we registered you March. The bulk of everybody's mailing will be March and April, so probably around June. Ready? Toastmaster Kathy?
Yeah.
Thank you. Anytime. What is faith? Did you hear it right? Anne will tackle faith. Did we not hear before that we are not allowed to speak God, Jesus, government, religion, and politics in the Toastmasters? These are such controversial topics. According to your December 2015 Toastmaster magazine, Toastmaster Kathy on page 9, please help me read it. The Toastmasters International Policy on Controversial Speech Topics. May I start? Toastmasters International does not officially prohibit or place restrictions of any kind upon any speech topic, content, or language. We are simply encouraged to exercise good taste, cultural sensitivity, for the greater good. Individual clubs, however, do have the right to limit such by a consensus of members. Club leaders, your officers, your mentors should guide members on how to observe good taste and sensitivity in the context of that particular club. So, what is faith? According to the dictionary, faith is a noun and is defined as number 1, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Number 2, it is a strong belief in God or in the doctrines of a religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. The Bible says faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance of what we do not see. This is from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Right? Dr. Christine Schirmash answers the question, how do the Quran and the Islamic teachers define faith in God? In the Quran, the term faith means to consider something, to be sure and reliable, without doubting, and that faith can only be given by God. And above all, that the human being acknowledges Allah's greatness and superiority. We are on social media every day. There's a problem if there's no concern. And a quotation from social media says, an umbrella cannot stop the rain, but it allows us to stand in the rain. Faith in God may not remove our trials, our problems, our obstacles, our challenges, but it gives us strength to overcome them. Whom do you have faith? Who do you trust? Your bankers? They handle your finances. Your manager? He oversees your business venture. Everybody has financial fears. You don't have to be poor. Get anxious about money. You don't have to be on welfare. You have fears of not eating, of not having something for the next day. In fact, it seems that the more you have to worry over, the more you have to protect, the more you have to ensure, the more you have to maintain, the more problems you have. But God gives us a guarantee regarding our finances, your finances. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 19, it says, God will meet all your needs according to His glorious riches in Christ Jesus. Again, in Christ Jesus. Who do you trust? Whom do you have faith? Your best friend? You may tell him anything and everything. She is your confidant. Your spouse? Your better half. You share your household, your siblings, you share your meals. But there's no greater love than this, that someone laid down his life for his friends. From the Bible, book of John, chapter 15, verse 13. Who do you trust? Whom do you have faith? Your bartender? He knows your poison. When you want to drown yourself in alcohol, just to forget your problems. Once again, the challenges in life. He knows our poison when we just want to unwind. God said, I have loved you at your darkest. That is Romans chapter 5, verse 3. And in Exodus chapter 14, verse 14, the Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. Be still, for the Lord will fight for you. Each of us has faith in the Almighty. however we call the Creator, whatever our religion is. I'm not asking you what your religion is, but we believe and trust in Abba the Father, God the Creator, and even Allah. And as God's people, we can always depend on Him. He will lead you and guide you. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6. Recently, I went through anxiety. My mind was so clouded with 100 thoughts, 100 concerns, that I was no longer thinking well. In fact, Kate, I was thinking of sinful thoughts. I was in a very dark limbo. I was in a very dark tunnel of sinful thoughts. I tried all the self-therapies I could muster. Reading, cooking, walking, making speeches. I actually finished practically all of these speeches during that time. I did all of these every day. These are the things I did every day. Reading, cooking, walking. I doubled it just so I can grasp that peace of mind that I so wanted. I might have sent some of you some SMS asking for prayers. I might have called some of you and told you of all my worries or some of my worries. Thank you all for your replies. Thank you all for your words of encouragement. On February 8th, a friend of mine told me to read Psalm 23. A psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. Even though I walk in the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. Even though I walk in the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Then I let go. I let God. Simply, I let go and I let God. I prayed, saying, thank you for the inner peace of mind and heart that I longed for. And I claimed for answered prayers. Indeed, my faith, my trust, my belief in God, that He will see me through all my worries materialized. All my worries I gave to God, and my faith and my trust in Him made me go through that dark valley. Joel Austin said, if you keep your faith, you keep your trust, you keep the right attitude. If you're grateful, you'll see God open up new doors. Friends, my personal friends, Kate, Sarah, Connie, my Toastmaster family. What is faith? To me and Paul, faith means God will make a way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Anne, for that motivational speech. Indeed, faith can move mountains. And remember, Ma'am Anne, that the man in the sky has you in his master plan. Whoa, I'm still shivering.
Oh, sorry.
TM Joel, can I get the timer's report, please?
I need to vote first.
Yes, vote first. Ay, sabihin mo para alam mo yung vote mo. Kasi mag-announce this.
Okay. Our time for the prepared speeches for Team Rice got 6 minutes and 4 seconds. Team Genuine have 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Team Joel got 6.25.43. And our Toastmaster DJ have 7 minutes and 14 seconds for Toastmaster, and that 9.26 disqualified.
Disqualified.
Toastmasters, please vote for the one you thought hit the objectives of their respective projects and give it to the vote counter, except for Ma'am Ann.
Oh dear.
Was it hit already? All the votes?
We move on to our table topics evaluation. Help me welcome to the in front one of the past presidents of this club, CTM Sam Palaganas.
I wait for the day.
Hello, Toastmasters, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let me give a brief evaluation. Toastmaster DJ. Toastmaster DJ made a very good outline. The cause and effect. He gave the effect, and eventually he gave the cause. In such a line that if you respect, you will be respected. He had a good gesture. I like the Toastmaster DJ. Toastmaster Joel, I noticed at first you got startled. You went back, but what I like about you is you proceeded. Okay? You proceeded and made your arguments. You had a good hand gesture. My only recommendation I could tell you is perhaps you should try to consider to lengthen your argument or your explanation so you won't go under time. You spoke only around a minute or less. No, your table topics. The table topics. Table topics. Toastmaster Generalin, I guess you had a very good, powerful argument. What the good point is, you pick up someone whom we could relate, and that is BPP9. It's a public knowledge for some. Well, some people are still on denial like me. From time to time.
Oops, that's not on the...
Agree.
You were at ease. And when you are at ease, you could easily enunciate and would have a good diction. Good flow of thought. Other than that, you will be a good speaker. I'm sure few more speech projects, and I could tell you will soon become Vice President for Education.
She will.
Thank you, TM Sam, for that constructive feedback. We now move on to the evaluation of preparing speeches. Evaluating TM Joel. Help me welcome in front TM Jen.
So, good evening. I was assigned to evaluate Mr. Joel de Guzman. And the title of his piece is Memo and Spark Plug. So it's his ice-breaking speech. This is the first speech that a Toastmaster member could deliver. So this is his first speech, and his strong points are as follows. He has a loud voice, and he was very, very expressive. Even when he was saying expressions, he was very expressive. I can feel what he was trying to say. His hand gestures are very appropriate. So unlike me, during my first speech, my hands were behind me. But him, he was freely using his hands during his speech. And of course, he's well-dressed for his speech. Okay, so how well did we know Mr. Joel? very well, actually, from your hardships during your childhood and the struggles you had, even the mentoring that you had while you were staying at the bank, until you reach your success. That's how we knew you, because of your speech. So he also had an adequate preparation, because actually he has his copy and I think he was not able to deliver all because of the time constraint. But despite all that, we still know who you are because of his speech. You speak very clear and audibly, very. But you still have to fix your V and B sound, because I cannot distinguish very well the difference when you're using V and B. So there's VB issues. So is there a definite organization of your speech? Of course, the introduction was there. He introduced himself as a martial law baby. And he introduced himself as a young boy. The body was during his training to the best that he can be in his career. And the conclusion, he ended it very well, saying a lot of adjectives about himself. That he's trying his best to be a good husband, worker, and father. And that's a very good ending for me. So use of notes, it's okay since it's your first speech. Actually, I heard that you can even read your first speech. Yes. Yes. And for the next one, what could have been done differently? I think your speech was perfect for a startup. And what I like about your presentation is its energy. Most of the speakers are very shy during their first speeches. I can still feel some tenses, of course. I still have that myself. But you were very energetic and it covered all the negative things that you have in your speech. So I did not notice so much of it. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Jen, for that constructive feedback. Now,
Sino? Next na. Sino na?
TM Rice will be evaluated by TMN.
Thank you. Rice, I'm waiting for speech number 10 already. I don't want to hear number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I don't want to evaluate any of them. I want to immediately tell you, please go on with your AC. Let's congratulate Rice Palaganas for doing a good job on this first year. When you have literally big shoes to fill, and you also have a big voice and a big, vast vocabulary like Rice and Toastmasters have. You won't wonder that they're both good speakers. But Rice has his own flavor when he does his speeches. Again, this is a challenge for Toastmasters now. I'm sure he's going to do his ACB soon. Strong points, voice volume, not a problem. Vocal variety, swap already. It's there already. Body language. Everything was moving. You're using your shirt as your props. Everything was there. Did we get to know him? Yes, chronologically. He took us back from to Riyadh when he was a kid, and he also took us to the future, what he wants to be, what he's going to be. Looking forward to that graduation picture of yours, the real one. Did he prepare? Of course, I know everybody will say he did very well. He had everything. His speech one was a package worth listening to. He had photos, he had props, vocal variety, everything in it. It was clear and audible. You don't even need a microphone or a megaphone. His vivid words started with his opening, continued on in the body of his speeches, and he ended his speech still with very vivid words. He used his notes, but it was minimal. And points of improvement, less oratorical. Sometimes we really want to do it so good we practice so much. We practice so much. Same thing as I told Gino. I'm sure because of the background in school that you are always an achiever. There's this tendency that our teachers train us to do it oratorically. I know how good a speaker you are now, but I'm sure you will be better when and if you make it more conversational. When it really comes from the heart. Because you're speaking of yourself. I'm sure everything will flow naturally. That will come in also with the flow of the body language, the volume, and the variety of vocal variety. I appreciate that everything was in. I just need to see less composure. Because I know you were conscious, even DJ was like that in the beginning, that you are conscious to give it your best, to let the best out right now. I want it with a big bang, and I want it with a loud boom. You did, and you will more in 2, 3, and so on. Let it flow naturally. Let it be more conversational. By then, we will not say we are listening to a speech that is so serious. We are listening to somebody conversing with us. His use of repetition was wonderful. It's so like Sir Sam. His props and his shirt and everything, and the touch of humor. The touch of humor in the speech. I really enjoyed it. Again, Rice, 2 down till 9. I don't want to evaluate you, but I'm looking forward to 10 already. Congratulations.
Thank you, TMN, for that constructive feedback. Evaluating TM Jen. Help me welcome in front TM Sam Palaganas.
First of all, I want to congratulate Toastmaster Jenny for delivering another speech in the span of less than 3 weeks. Toastmaster Jenny, let me evaluate you on the area of speech value, preparation, opening, the body, and conclusion, among others. Your speech value. I like when you said the topic you have selected. One, we all can relate. Who doesn't know problem? Who doesn't know problem? Who doesn't have problem? Immediately, with just the topic we have, we are awake. We were awake. Your preparation is flawless. Flawless in the sense you have a flawless delivery. You have a very good enunciation. Very relaxed voice. It's nice to hear. It's like a music. And easily understood. I like also that you were talking from your mind and from your heart. Which means you were able to project your facial expression effectively. You know, a lot of newcomers are reliant on notes, but amazingly, you did not rely on notes. I like it. I like your opening. It's attention getting. When you say, who doesn't have problem? Is the thought? Like, it's a question mark. And when you hear questions the very outset, I tell you, your attention will be focused. I also like your body, because when you say, you define the problem, on the body part of your speech, you were able to break the problem into several levels. You discuss the different types of problem. Okay. I also like your conclusion, because it's a call to action. Remember, your conclusion says we must never give up. We must never give up. And that creates a lasting impression on the audience. I like it. first, again, I want to repeat, I like the way you engage the audience. I like your pronunciation. Especially, I like your positivity. I like your positivity. If there's one point that I could suggest, perhaps you should incorporate more emotion on your voice. Although your voice is okay, but I want more emotion in your voice. Other than that, you did wonderful Toastmasters, Jay.
Yeah. Thank you, PM Sam, for that constructive feedback. Now, to evaluate me, let's welcome TM Choir.
This is speech titled Recuperate. It's about sleep. And for the first time, I didn't fall asleep with something very good to sleep. And because of that, I will evaluate you with 3 letters. NAP. Nap. N. It's for knowledge of the topic.
Okay, dapat okay.
I can't put cup on that, so no. So, knowledge of topic. It was evident that your research, your speech was well researched. You cited your source. You give some examples like Churchill, Napoleon, Edison. Even gave a written example of the Chinese guy who did that CV marathon. Okay. It shows that you prepared well for that. A is for action. It showed good variety of body language and vocal variety. The only thing I could point out on that is your pauses. Sometimes you pause inappropriately, but with vocal variety, you did well, especially also in action, body language. You had appropriate use of your body language in depicting actions, in pointing out some matters. No, for that hand, and some like that, should give us more emphasis. It gives us more emphasis on the action, on the point that you want to portray. And P is for the purpose of speech, which is to inform through research. You gave us, in the introduction, you gave us what sleep was for us. In the body, you gave us the problem, the causes of it, and the illness that it gives us. And in the end, you gave us solution on how to cope up with sleep deprivation, or coping up with how to get away with the norm, with the culture now, the sleepless culture, especially having those 24-hour TV, 24-hour work. Even in BGC, in Bonifacio City, you don't sleep there. Because you wake up 3 in the morning, people jog, people drink. In the afternoon, people jog, people sleep, people drink. So it's a 24-hour place. So your speech sums up with those 3 letters. I would say that it was well prepared. Points of interest, point of improvement that you have to do for me is trying to pause where you need to pause to give more emphasis. It's like a cliffhanger thing. It's like there. So you make the pause, so people would be wanting to hear more. But in overall, I was well impressed since I first heard you till now. It's like a very big leap, much bigger than the leap that I am supposed to do myself. So congratulations for that well prepared speech. We forgot to push number 8.
Thank you, sir, choir, for that very constructive feedback. I will take note of all of those things that you have said. Now, to evaluate Ma'am Ann, help me welcome TM Sam Palaganas.
Good evening again. Toastmaster and speech is quite difficult. Very difficult to evaluate. Because why? Because it's the abstract speech, abstract concept speech.
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult. It's abstract. So I cannot evaluate anything. No, it's not. But I tell you, it was abstract, but I understood it. I felt it. As a matter of fact, my 2 horns here melted.
Are you sure it's true?
Oh, no, it's not. It did not melt. It did not melt.
The tail.
It did not melt. It just transferred. It just transferred to Toastmasters, who was wearing an underwear. I will evaluate her speech with the help of the evaluation guide. How did these speakers define the scope of the speech subject? Well, she defined the faith from the very point of view of religion, from Islam, from Catholic. Was the topic narrow enough to explain sufficiently in the time allotted? Narrow enough. Yes, she narrowed the faith. She narrowed the topic faith in terms of religion, right? She did not talk about faith about wife, faith on good dresses, faith on jewelries. She just discussed faith in terms of religion. How effectively did the speaker draw an expert's opinion while discussing the subject? She was effective on drawing expert opinions because she invoked several known personalities. One is, she invoked Joel Onsted, the guy on the TV, who is a good evangelist. She invoked Dr. Kristen to define faith. She invoked the Bible. She invoked the Quran, even. She invoked our Toastmaster magazines as a source. How did the speaker make the talk interesting to the audience? How could the speaker have built greater interest? Well, she made the talk interesting by using vocal varieties. Vocal varieties. She sounded neutral when she was defining faith. Like when she said, faith gives us strength. But when the speech calls for a soft voice, she sounded soft. When she say, thank you for the inner peace, she talked and touched my heart when I heard that, with that almost whispered voice. I had a heartburn when I look at her face.
Are you okay, sir?
When I saw her, when I saw her as meek as a rabbit.
Yeah. I was ready to cry or something.
Second is, it's a very abstract speech. And the challenge there is, how would you be able to make it relatable? How would you be able to make it relatable? Well, of course, the way she did it, she just invoked good, reliable sources like the Bible. She invoked verses from the Bible, which we all can relate. She had a very good speech. I was touched, and I'm looking forward for another speech from Toastmaster Anne. Congratulations, Anne.
Thank you, Sir Sam, for
Wanna shake
that
hands, huh?
appropriate and timely
Yeah,
feedback.
shake hands.
Oh, so yeah, let's shake hands.
I was trembling.
Now to report the filler words we've used throughout the meeting, help me welcome the counter in front, our benevolent president,
Benevolent.
You sure she may
Kathy
not let us
Balsa.
stay?
Benevolent.
Yeah, wait, who's neuter? You didn't have one.
Yeah.
Wala pa rin yung account.
Because of the foods.
Food. Isa lang.
The food.
Food lang, may dapat eh.
The food will be paid.
Is that correct?
Now, I think the club doesn't reach now. Only the highest number is 4. And no, 5 pala. And that is, oh gosh,
Is it 3? It's not.
4. That's by Joel.
Okay.
Said 4. Sam said 4 too. I don't know. 6.
6.
The hour for
That would be a miracle.
6. We have faith in you, Sam. 6. That you're going to. Then followed by our 4, that is Joel de Guzman. Said 4.
Wow. Just 8 pesos?
8 pesos.
Then followed by Janlyn by 3.
Yeah.
The first, you could say the first 3 minutes, you do not say any He said, oh, wala. I said, yes, okay. So the first time we spoke here, it was 1 Then after that, we spoke again here, 2 got away.
Okay.
2. Then followed by our 3-timer again also, it's by Rice. Which Rice? Oh, Rice. You know, he didn't say any on the first part. First siguro when you were thinking about what you're gonna say, is it again? If you're thinking what I'm gonna say, right?
Okay.
And then not only if you say you make a mannerism, short, not make a sound. I count that as 1. Then followed by our what? 2 timer. No, only 1. That is Anne. Anne said, no, spoke too long, No,
But my Nice.
I didn't count the Nasabot pag sila sa next time I'll list You know what I used to do before what you call it? I would say that. What you call it? And they call it my mom. And then followed by our DJ. Did I say any already?
No.
2.
2.
Calling you people.
You know, you were very good at it because you're the Toastmaster.
Because I don't have money, you know.
You have money?
I don't have money, that's why I
That's the
want
best motivation. No money, don't say, Do you know that's my secret?
That's the secret.
That's the secret.
Then followed by our valedictorian, that's choir. Only 1. Well,
It's not valedictory, it's Suma.
Suma.
number 1.
Suman Tamango.
I think that's about it. Okay, I hope you like it. I hope you pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you pay.
We'll remain it by wire.
Yes,
Before my friends need to go, so can we ask them for their feedbacks?
Yeah.
I am very happy and very honored, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you I will not say from where and what their work is.
You look good.
To me, more than what we have shared in our offices, it's the love and the friendship that has kept us together all
Wow.
this time, and all their support for me and to me, including my son. Connie, Sir Kenya Escocio, and Sarah Gang. Thank you for coming. I just
Please come back.
I want to say thank you so much. Please let us know your thoughts about our
Reaction.
Let's welcome
reaction.
two beautiful ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything that you would like to share with us. It's like as if you're just telling me.
As long as you're networking,
What?
okay na.
Yeah.
How do you find the Toastmaster Club of this, of the Dagupan Toastmaster Club? Anything you can say about?
One word.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
encouraging. Actually, I'm preparing for a speech for the Good Friday. So it helped me a lot on how to start the speech. So,
For you, word. Hey, you're preparing.
Join us.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
preparing for his
Next.
Mas only for church?
It's highly
Ah,
classified.
for the church, okay.
The work is highly classified.
Okay.
In a way. So let's move.
So we're looking forward for your next
Sir,
year.
Sabay tayo graduate 2000.
To report on how did we murder the English language.
Thank you for coming.
So you're graduate.
Oh.
Sabay tayo 2009.
Naano mo kami nila, ano? Sino yung mga?
Now, to give us a report on how did we murder the English language, let us hear TM Jen, the language evaluator. Yeah. Let me know what did we murder.
So for the language evaluation, I will focus on the common mistakes that we use during our speeches. So we have to be careful with the use of articles. So when we say articles, this is something to do with aan and da. Okay, so this, you mentioned a lot of this. And so let me ask you, when do we use an, and da?
It's part of the speech.
Yes, it's an article. So we use the if the noun is specific. And an if it's not specific. Another thing, we use and an if the speaker is the only one who knows about what he is talking about. But we use the if both the speaker and the listener knows what we are talking about. So we have to be careful on that. And for the subject-verb agreement, is for singular, of course, and are is for plural. The same thing for past tense. Is to was, and are to were for past tense. Please, let's be careful on that. And we have to be consistent every time we're using past tense. Let's not use is and are anymore, and just stick with the was and were, and add ed to all your verbs. Okay? And for the his and her, like the old times we were having our meeting, we use his, of course, for men and her for women. So, I'm sorry to say this, Sir Joel, but when you said about Miss Virgie Garcia, is it a girl? Is it? It's a girl or a boy?
Sometimes.
It's a boy. It's a boy.
It depends.
Pa?
Did I see
No, I was thinking kasi Virgie was a girl.
Virgil?
Virgil.
I mispronounce L.
Virgil.
Sorry.
Wala yan.
Virgin.
Virgin.
Virgil.
Virgin.
That's a record.
Wala yan, virgin eh.
Alright, so for some specific examples, it is depend must be it depends.
Okay.
Everybody have must be everybody has. Okay? How about said in? For example, Joel said in me. How do we fix that? Joel said to me, right?
You don't say in.
How about loyalty of?
On.
To someone. Should be to, right? A lot of hardship. Remember, you use a lot of. So it should be a lot of hardships. Okay. And when you're telling about a story in the past, you don't say when we are young. When we were young. It's supposed to be that. Okay?
Okay.
How about the pronunciation of the as the and the?
if the succeeding word begins
Yeah.
with a vowel or consonant.
That's right. You must also know about that. Okay? So other than that, as I mentioned,
Remember I mentioned, there's not the word.
which one? Yeah, about the word. Is relatable a word?
No, I don't think.
Relatable. It's not a word. And we failed to introduce before we started the word of the day, which is hubris. Can we all say hubris?
Hubris.
So it means exaggerated pride or self-confidence. So who among you has this?
The Bible has a bit.
So example is his failure was brought on by his hubris and he was punished for his hubris. Sorry to introduce this now, so you cannot deduct it with your
Can it be possible that they also use
Ano ba yung word of the day? Toastmasters.
conceited?
Yes, conceited. Yes, it's the same meaning. Alright, thank you. That would be all.
Thank you, PM Jen, for that enlightening feedback. Now for the anything goes portion. Fellow Toastmaster, does anyone have something to share or show us? Some talents, skills?
No.
I would like to invite our Vice President for Education to enlighten us on how do you vote for the big three, for the benefit of us.
Big three, you have to choose among Toastmaster of the Night, one, the General Evaluator, and Table Topics Master.
Okay.
Only one.
Only one among them.
So,
I don't think.
Only one.
I'll say it again, you will have to
Choose one
choose from the Toastmaster, Table Topics Master, and the General Evaluator.
Okay.
Alright. We now move on to what is perhaps the most important part of the meeting, the evaluations portion. This is where participants of the meeting, up to this point,
That is, tapos na evaluation.
General Evaluator natin.
General evaluation, okay.
immediate feedback from our peers so that we can become all pillar speakers. This section is run by a general evaluator, and our general evaluator this evening is CC Anpua. CC CLLB ACB Anpua ABCDFG.
We started 9 minutes late, friends. I hope next time we could and we should start at 6:30 because most of us are here earlier. Sam, Rice, and Jen, and DJ, we were here earlier. So if we may start at 6:30, it would be better so that we could have more time to speak and learn from each other. The venue, all gusto here. You have food, you have drinks, good ventilation, good lighting, aircon is wonderful. Thank you to VT. Attendance, we have a very intimate attendance. We're only number 11 and we have 3 guests. Over the past years, we always say the more intimate the meeting is, the better. Because everybody gets a chance to speak. Everybody gets a chance to take roles. Individually, that's really a very good point for all of us. You get to take on more roles. You can fast track yourself. However, when it comes to the concentration that we give to each of our roles, I know Rice was concentrating on his first speech, but he had to take on another role. Somewhere along the line, you need to sacrifice something. So if and when we may attend, let us. And if and when we say we are taking on a role, let us take on that role. So that no one is, shortchanged when we get to the venue. And it's so difficult also for whoever is in charge to just look for, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Timer-wise, I wish Sir Joel could have prepared to be a timer. Because we gave Gino ample time to prepare, we gave DJ ample time to prepare. But thank you and congratulations, PM Joel. The theme is, of course, very timely for them. It reminds us of our being human. The program is an improved program. Thank you, Toastmasters Sam. We now have best speakers, big three, and everything else. We are now more time-bound. I see that. We are more conscious of our time. Thank you. Toastmaster of the night, obviously well-prepared, researched, and he was even motivating us. He was motivating us. He mentioned the changes, which I appreciate. Sometimes we're given a printed program, and then we base on that, and then something's changed. We don't know what happened. He also had good transition based on the topics of each speaker. I see that he was listening to each of the person speaking in front of him. And while he was listening, he was coming up with what he's going to say when they leave. That's a very good one. It keeps you up on your toes. It's like doing impromptu. It's like doing tempo. It's like answering our table topics already. And I so appreciate that he did so then. S-O-T-T-E-N, when he introduced each of the speakers. I texted that to him. I know he's a very busy man, but he prepared SO10. Speech number, objective, time, title, evaluator, and name of the speaker. The table topics master. Of course, he caught our attention. Who would not? I would just like to ask, or let's just take note of this. If we ask the question, if we ask the question initially with an or, just like when he said accept the code or expand it further, and then when he repeated it, he said accept the code and expand it further. That would be two different choices in the mind of the person. Let's just let's make sure of what we're asking. We also forgot to say that each speaker had 30 seconds to prepare. Of course, our table topics master was prepared. He gave everybody a headache with his questions, but if we want to improve, then we should be ready to take on such questions, such quotations. No matter how deep, no matter how funny, no matter how superficial, it's something that we should ponder. And it's not a joke, coming up here, answering those questions. And it's even a more difficult job to think of questions or quotations. I heard politicians mentioned, but no names were mentioned. I'm glad of that. I did tackle it, but we should have tact and sensitivity. I only used my gadget once and I regretted it. When I come up to speak, I used my gadget once and I regretted it. It's because sometimes when you scroll, you lose it. Your gadget turns black. And then you have to activate it and then look for where you stopped. I saw that with Joel, I saw that with Jen. I never trust my gadgets. I always have my paper with me. That's why if you have a gadget but you have a paper, go for your paper. Even if you fold it, we are always asked to fold it as small as this. Actually, when you see Toastmasters, then you should just, the PS Bank memo pad. That's the best size. Not that, the other one, the one with the red one.
Actually, I did that. I have a terrible handwriting.
Yeah, everybody has a terrible handwriting.
All of us have.
I have the worst one in the world. The titles of the speeches gets interesting every week. And I am now enlightened with the titles. I enjoy that. There was a time that we just say, our next speaker is Rice Palaganas doing speech number 7, and we clap and shake his hands. Now we have a clearer view of what's going to happen, of what we're going to want to know, because he's doing research, because he's introducing himself. So the titles are getting more interesting. This is something I love. I just hope that we can come up with a list of it. I hope I may. We are now time-bound, I said that. Prepared, very well-prepared speakers and role takers. Thank you. I now hear speakers for the prepared speeches who don't come here and say, you know, I didn't prepare for this is impromptu, bahala na. I still do, but there's less of it already. I know we are all good speakers. Our knowledge is there. Our will to speak is there. Often, preparation is still the key. Whether it be in your cooking, in your thinking, in going to the bathroom, I heard fun and improvement. That it's fun when we come here and learn. I'm glad that we're improving as well as having fun. I just hope always, I say this every meeting, that there will be less distractions. Because when somebody's speaking in front and there's a distraction, it really gets into you, and it's one of my pet peeves. It's one of my pet peeves. That's why, forgive me, I stop. I don't just pause. I stop when you guys speak when I am speaking. We do learn not just communication, but in the knowledge that we share. We learn so much about sleep. I really appreciated that tonight. I cannot live without coffee after 3 p.m. I'd rather go jogging ulit. Don't! Okay. We were just talking about it because we were going to order coffee. And I so appreciate, I'm very happy. This is such an improvement. We now base our evaluations on the manual. For TM Sam, TM Choir, TM Kathy, and myself who have been with the club for years, there were times that nobody brought any manual. There were times that they would just say, oh sige, ako na lang, kaya ko yan. Speech 4. Ano nga yung speech 4? And then we just speak. And then, sino mag-evaluate? Those were the impromptu days. Now that we have been given an overview of what should be done, I'm glad we're going through the SOPs. And we are now manual-based. We don't just say, oh, Kathy did a very good job in her speech about this and that and that. It's so easy to say she did a good job. It's so easy to say she had wrong grammar. It's so easy to say she did not have vocal variety. But the core of the speech, the objective of that speech number, was it hit? It's difficult to evaluate Kathy. She's one of our best speakers. What's wrong with that? I wish the word of the day was mentioned ahead so that we could have used it, because it's a challenge. Whenever any one of us uses the word of the day, 1 is counted off. So if you did 6 and you said you said the word of the day 4 times, you only have to pay 4 pesos. The general evaluator is supposed to introduce the other evaluators, but I don't mind at all. I'm glad that DJ had the courage to introduce each of the evaluators. As general evaluator, I don't mind that because it makes our Toastmaster of the evening more multi-talented. Multi-talented. Because he gets to speak more. And we want all of us to have more chance to speak and less chance for me already. Thank you, congratulations everybody. Kudos, and we hope we will end exactly 9 p.m. tonight, I think. It's 9, but we started here. Thank you everybody, congratulations.
Thank you, Team Ann, for doing a great job providing constructive feedback. We now move on to the awards section of the meeting. As you may remember, the vote counter collected votes throughout the meeting of whom you felt is the best when it came to table topics, evaluation, prepared speeches.
Ibigay mo sa kanya.
Yung big three siya.
Kahit saan? Alin na?
Bilugan mo na lang ang pangalan.
The surprise din. May prize yan.
Ang tawag mo nasasabi.
Saan ito big three?
Big 3 is here.
Please don't forget to post your pictures of you posting the posters anywhere.
Yeah. Let's take note of that.
Para hindi sayang oras.
For the best table topics you voted for, drum roll please. I stop. You voted for Jeneline Kim. Yeah. For the best prepared speech, you voted for me. Thank you for that. For the evaluator, best evaluator. Best evaluator siya. Okay, so let's proceed to, no, oh my God. For the big three, me again. Okay, thank you.
What's your prize?
Toastmaster DJ. Oh, because you prayed a lot that last night.
81 million, 81 million.
Because you did not sleep.
Answered your prayer.
Oh, God.
This is your.
I thought it was 81 million.
81 million transfer.
Yeah, the man in the sky really has me in his master plan.
Yes.
Okay? Did I not promise you a fun and exciting meeting?
Oh.
Well, it's been an honor to me to be your Toastmaster of this evening.
So do it to the one next time?
I'll think it otherwise. I now return the control to the
Precisely.
of the meeting to the presiding officer,
Kahit diyan ka na, diyan ka na, diyan ka na.
our president,
Diyan ka na.
Yeah, okay.
team captain.
Okay. I'm glad that we're all here smiling and we're done with our meeting, but then sounds like we don't, it looks like we don't want to stand up yet and go.
Okay.
Okay, so that's nice. So I have to enjoy your meeting and see you again next. Okay?
Yeah.
Feedback of my dress.
Ah, yeah. Okay,
Those two left ahead.
what's your name again?
Okay.
Kate. Okay, call you Kate. Sir, please stand.
You need to speak in English.
Alam ko may
It's up to you.
Actually, kami na lang
Espanol?
Actually, when I was invited by Anna, I didn't know what to expect. And I was surprised that everybody was speaking in different language. Actually, the topics were so different. I was thinking it was more on humility, where the theme was posted in the Facebook. And I'm very glad to see bankers as well to join this activity. What do you call it? This club. Looking forward to joining.
Yeah!
Because I also have plans for myself in the future to be good speakers like you, to be a good speaker like you. It's very...
Most welcome.
Nakakatakot magkamali actually. But I learned a lot with this in this first meeting. The evaluation was very precise. It was what do you call this?
What do you call it? That's what they used to do. Say here, what do you call it?
Himay. I don't know how to say it, but that's how it was today. So, na-amazed ako. Talaga, very thankful that it's in.
Thank you.
Speech one next meeting.
Yes,
Speech one next meeting.
agad.
Kasi siya, easiest.
And Jeneline can be your mentor.
Yeah.
Okay, ano tayo? Picture tayo? Picture?
Picture.
Okay, let's have a picture.
First time
Picture na.
sa picture.
First time? You are. That's it. That's why you don't.